Thank you for clicking on this video. If you enjoy what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell to stay up to date with our latest content.
And hey, don't forget, check out our Patreon where you can be part of the dream and enjoy this transaction.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Microtransaction Extra episode, and boy, do we have a treat for you. But before we get started, Chris, I see you got something in your hand. You're looking a little deadly. What's going on here? What do we got here?
Well, honestly, these Covenant, they're coming,
Right.
and I gotta be able to, I gotta let them know that I mean business. I took one of their own weaponry, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this is not a game. This is real life.
It is real life. I can see that thing. Be careful. Watch out. Don't try to. Don't. You might go right through the floor there. Gotta be careful with those energy swords. All right. Well. Oh, jeez. So what we're doing here today, you probably see it. We're doing a tier list. We're making tier maker. You saw the thumbnail. There's nothing to hide. And what are we ranking? Well, you read the title. Obviously, you had to, right? You wouldn't have clicked the video otherwise. Halo, baby. Best Halo games. I'm sorry. We're gonna rank them, not the best ones, but we're gonna rank them. We'll see where they fall, where they fit. This is great for me. Bad for Chris. Great for me because I'm not really, Halo was never. Even though I loved it, I loved the series. I loved playing it. Especially the story with co-op. I never played it to the extent that Chris has. All right. So Chris he's sweating bullets right now, and this is what we want. We want Chris. We want stressful Chris.
Oh my god, dude. And you're gonna get it. Cause I know I'm gonna look at it when I say it, and then I'm gonna have to like refinagle some things around.
Yeah.
Cause
Okay.
I'm trying to start like what do I consider like a B tier? Cause like the thing is, even the bad Halos have positives in them. So you know what I mean? Like there's not a Halo that's like atrocious.
Right.
Even like they're not on this list right now, but there are mobile. Like they were for Windows. You know when they had the phones.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not on there, but even those were like pretty fun, like twin stick shooter Halo style. Like it was great. Like it was a lot of fun.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those on this list, right? These Halo Wars.
No. They're not there, but
Okay.
like
Okay, just making sure.
yeah, all the console ones are there
Gotcha. Okay.
because they don't even have the arcade ones.
Well, Halo Wars originally started on mobile, didn't it? I could have sworn it did.
No.
No. Okay.
No, it was on.
Oh,
360.
360.
It was, like,
That's right.
it was made with the 360 in mind with the controller. That's why RTS wise, like on controller, there's not a better game that it feels
right.
Like,
And it was supposed to be made by a good like team, if I'm not mistaken. A good
they
RTS
went out of
team.
business making it.
Oh, okay, that sucks. I don't think it's, is that more of a team thing, or is that the game that was more of the problem?
People don't like talking about it on the Microsoft side, so it makes me think that it might have been leadership during that time.
Gotcha.
Because just like you've said before, sometimes Microsoft has issues running their studios.
Yeah.
And I think this was pre Phil Spencer.
It was.
So
Wait. Oh, this was Don Magic, wasn't it?
I think so.
That little cuck. Oh my god. We can
yeah.
say cuck, right? That's okay.
Yeah, we can. When you're talking about homie, yeah, you can say it.
All right. Well, then, without further ado, let's get this started. Chris, was there any specific game you would like to start with?
No, look at you start. I can't start right away. I'll tell you one thing, Liquid. Don't troll me, all right? This is not the time. This is serious business.
Hey, Chris, if there's one thing, bro, I'm all serious, you guys. You know what I'm saying?
No,
it's all serious, no play unless we're doing it on a weekend. And it just so happens to be Sunday, baby. Sunday fun day. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna start with Halo Wars, just because those are the ones that I'm a little unfamiliar with. So I feel like there's not gonna be too much conversation behind those. So Chris, let's start with Halo Wars 1. I'm assuming it came out on Xbox 360, if I'm not mistaken. Like we mentioned earlier, RTS. For those who don't know what an RTS is, it stands for real-time strategy. It's just top-down. You're seeing your players. I'll hopefully I can get some gameplay. We'll see. Because time is of the essence. But we'll go with Halo Wars. Chris, where does Halo Wars rank for you?
The thing is, like I said, Halo Wars, like okay, this is hard because Halo Wars did, like I said, really honestly brought RTS to console, and it played really well. It was fun. It had an online campaign. It was 3v3. It was pretty fun, and obviously it had just a great Halo aesthetic with the Covenant and so on and so forth. And Matt there's something called the Arbiter Rush day one, where you just boost up, you rush to get the Arbiter because it would have hero characters, and like you could just end a match instantly if you didn't properly defend for that attack.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's called the Arbiter Rush, and Matthew saw a real time me getting Arbiter Rush, and it was the first time I ever came in contact with it, and it worked. So
Sounds like someone pulling out Exodia on you, not being prepared for that.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, I got 3 blue eyes, baby. We Gucci, dog. The life points down to 400. Say less.
Exodia obliterate. Yep.
Yep. But I wanna look for now. I wanna put it in like B.
Really? Oh, that's higher than expected. I was thinking more C. Again, I haven't played the game, so I have no reason for it. But I have no reason.
The campaign was fun. The multiplayer was rock solid. Like everything that game did was really good. Had really good CG. Nathan Drake did the voice acting for one of the main characters.
Oh, Nolan North? Really?
Yeah, Nolan North. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So like it was very well voice acted. Like the cinematography was good. The gameplay was good. The multiplayer was good. Like it was a really good RTS.
Where in the story does it take place? Do you know?
It takes place before after the fall of Harvest. So it's like 20 years before the Pillar of Autumn.
Where in the games does that take place? At
the very beginning.
Okay, this is like a prequel. Okay.
In the story.
Halo Wars 2 as well.
Playing in order. Halo Wars is the first game.
Okay, even Halo Wars 2, same scenarios. Also
no.
Oh, it goes a little further than that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well then, might as well. Speaking of Halo Wars 2, let's get into it. Where's Halo Wars 2 fall?
See, Halo Wars 2 just really expanded upon Halo Wars 1, and it did really good. Stop doing that. You're driving me crazy.
Oh, I know, dude. This is the point. The anxiety.
And the thing is, they added so much. They almost picked off. Like, it's funny because everyone went to cryo sleep, basically did a time jump, and now in the future. And this is where we first meet Atriox and the Banished. And that when you meet him, he just murks 3 Spartans, laughs at them. He's like, "Run, little demons!" And you're like, "Who is this guy? He is terrifying." And it's just like they added a new enemy, made him feel serious, and it was just so good. Like honestly, the story was my favorite part of Halo Wars 2, but it really expounded upon everything it already did. They did introduce like this weird card system thing because that's when like microtransaction was. So like I had to put Halo like. Because of that, like I had a lot of positive things to say about Halo Wars. I had to put it behind Halo Wars 2, like on B behind.
Okay, so you want to put on B, but behind. Okay, but still B.
Behind it.
Okay, and for those who don't, microtransactions, but the bad microtransactions, not the cool one from here.
Yeah, not the cool ones. Like they had a card system thingy they were trying to implement, and like that's the only real negative. Because yet again, they improved upon because there's growing pains on iterations, and they built upon it, but it was just so blatant. Like, hey, get these packs.
Now,
and I was like,
you mentioned the Banished in Halo Wars 2. My first time I've ever heard, maybe I wasn't paying attention, of the Banished was actually in Halo Infinite. Am I crazy, or is that like?
No, you're not crazy. Most people are like you, but the Banished Atriox, the main baddie, Banished, starts here in Halo Wars 2.
Really? But he's not mentioned in Halo 1, 2, 3 through 5, right? No. Interesting. No. I like that.
Only like maybe in books.
I wonder if these games hold up. I'm kind of interested to go back.
They do. Yeah. If like you give the if you don't mind playing an RTS, these games do hold up because I played it like a year or 2 ago, and I was like, bro, this is still pretty like good.
Yeah.
Like it's a good time. I recommend, like, if you got an itch for RTS, and you want to use the controller, these are the games to play.
Nice, that's cool. All right, so let's see. What should we choose next? Let's see. We've got some choices here. Halo 1 through 5. We've got Infinite. We've got Reach. Now, granted, Infinite, I put a little asterisk next only because we don't have the campaign yet at the time of doing this. So take it with a grain of salt. But we'll go from there. I think I want to go with. I want to go with Reach. Let's start with Reach. Now, Reach didn't do much for me personally. I thought it was good. I love the story. I love the whole Noble Six thing. I love seeing the Spartan spoiler just die, get killed off like one at a time. It was just very dramatic. This is before Game of Thrones as well, so that just goes to show you these main characters can die. It's a big thing here. Chris, I want to put Reach, when I see these games, I want to put Reach at B or C. And the thing is, I'll be honest with you, even though in the beginning I liked the multiplayer, I think it fell off. It just didn't stick around. I'm gonna go with, I'd rather put it in C. I think I'm gonna go with C. What do you think?
Okay, before we bash on Halo Reach too hard, I want to say that Halo Reach did a lot of things, and echoing what what Liquid is saying, like the campaign was great, the customization was great until one of the guys at Bungie accidentally put an extra 0, and it really messed up the ranking system and to unlock armors and get points. I digress.
Whoops.
That's a real thing.
Wow.
But with the Bloom and I can't honest seriously, and Forge World causing screen tear.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and just the maps being terrible. Yeah, I'd give it a C. Honestly, I'd rather play any of those Halo Wars before playing Reach.
Oh wow, interesting. Like I said, good story, but
rock solid story. I love Novelty.
Right, but I would say you play the story at least once, but you're really into the multiplayer. That's really kind of that's where Halo shines, right? All right.
I think you could play the story multiple times to be entertained.
Okay.
I think the replayability is.
No,
really
I
good.
agree. Yeah, I do agree as well. I want to kind of put these in order just because they're kind of bothering me. Wait, this is Halo 3 right here, so we're gonna put that 4, 5. There we go. We're good. All right, so then we're gonna go with Halo 1. Combat Evolved. All right, this is where it started. This is where everybody gets it. You got your Xbox. You know what I'm saying? This was essentially, I would say, a lot of people's first experience with online gaming on a console, right? And it's just like, oh wait, it was no, it wasn't. I'm sorry, not Halo 1. That was Halo 2. But this one did have the split screen. It kind of brought back what everybody did in their little college dorms with GoldenEye back in the day. Halo did the exact same thing, just that much more better, because obviously more in the future. Halo Combat Evolved, I remember playing it with Frank, the campaign. I loved it before. I didn't even pay attention. I didn't even know about the multiplayer. I just played it for the campaign. One time I borrowed my uncle's Xbox. I played the campaign, gave it back. Never heard of the multiplayer. I've heard of it, or I've heard of playing split screen like everybody else, but I didn't care about the split screen. It was all about story for me. I had a fun time. Just because I'm looking at all these other games, I would like to put this as a B.
There is no way I can let you put Halo 1 out of B.
Okay.
You're fucking insane.
Okay.
Because Halo was the historical precedents that Halo brought on. Remember, before Halo 1, first-person shooters didn't work on controller. They thought it was impossible till Halo made it possible, and didn't make it passable, serviceable. They made it the best thing the world has seen till that date. And then putting the maps together, and then having LAN parties. It was a culture movement. This is the beginning of most people's seeing, understanding a competitive mindset, where MLG starts happening. It does so much.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it didn't age the best, but it didn't age the worst either. You can play the campaign and still be like, wow, this is amazing when you think about how this is 20 years old.
Right. So where do you put it?
Oh man, it's either at it's hard because I want to put it at an A.
I think, okay, so if I can interject here for a second. Because with me, everything you said, I love what you said. All right, I didn't experience any of that. Like I said, I played the story once with Frank, and that's it. I never played it again. So that's why I'm down at B. But like you said, I agree with you 100%. From what I've heard, culture movement 100%. All right. So I feel like let's say if you see it as S, for example, and if I see it as B, maybe give it the middle A. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna give it A for now. But
Yeah, that's fine. Nothing's set in stone yet. You know what I'm saying? We haven't finished the show yet. We still got another 15 or so minutes. All right. So that leaves us with Halo 2 now. All right. I think all of these I'm gonna give my opinion first, and I want to hear what you have to say. Just because you have just more insight. Now Halo 2 that's when the multiplayer came, the online multiplayer of it. Again, another game, played the story with Frank, didn't even touch the multiplayer. But I know it's crazy. This is how nuts it is. I know that I think it now goes to show how for so long I was never really a Halo guy. You know what I'm saying? Now you can kind of see why. I was never the whole online thing, dude. I didn't have an Xbox, so I didn't play a lot of the online stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was all PlayStation 2 stories. Give it to me. You know? So, Halo 2, though. I like it. I like it a lot. Especially H2A. Me personally, I want to fit H2A with it. All right? Some maybe call it blasphemy. I know you're saying you're shaking your head no, but I don't care. For me, I'm going to put Halo 2 S rank. That's where I'm thinking it goes. Only because I played H2A, and I know it's not the same game, but I played more Halo H2A than I did Halo 2 itself. So that's why for me, I'm just going to throw an S rank. I need your opinion now.
I agree with the S rank because it did bring a lot of online. Sure, the campaign wasn't finished, but it was a great cliffhanger. They weaseled it in away because it wasn't development hell. But they found a way to make it like, no, this is the second game. That's the reason why it's on a cliffhanger, not because we ran out of fucking time, you know.
Bungie.
Yeah, we gotta love it, dude. But that's just how it was last time. But it made online multiplayer a real thing. Yet again, without Halo 2, without Halo, the landscape of multiplayer isn't the same.
Okay, yeah, sure.
You know, like it's just a fact. Like there was a game who did it, and it so happened to be Halo. Mm-hmm. And I disagree with the H2A because when H2A first dropped, it was terrible.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that.
You know, so like I don't because I don't want to hold that for Halo Chief, or not Halo Chief, but Halo number 1, mm-hmm. because the Halo 1's remake wasn't that good either.
Okay.
You know, yeah, just for everything you said, the only thing, the online multiplayer, the communities that were built, you know, basically really rearing MLG at the time, competitive gaming, to a bigger market that people have never even, like, well, people are getting paid. People are getting sponsored by Red Bull playing Halo 2. Oh, yeah. This is nuts. So when you think about, like, everything Halo, yeah, you have to put it S tier. Okay. And, like, there's, like, honestly, like, it's, like, there's not, you don't make a list of top 100 games without a Halo being, I would say, top 10, just because all the cultural stuff is done.
Okay, fair enough. That brings us to Halo 3. Now, Halo 3...
This is the what? By the way, this is the hard part.
Yeah, this is what becomes. Yeah, this is where it gets real difficult, because Halo 3. This is where I started playing more, like, really online Halo 3. And I'll be honest with you, Halo 3. I had a conversation with my significant other about this last night. Actually, it never clicked for me. Like, whenever I would play it, I would see you guys. I'm like, damn, there's like something I'm doing wrong. I knew there was always something I'm doing wrong, and I just feel like ultimately I never got over that hump that I knew I could have been better. I knew I could have been better at this game. It's just something I never sat back, looked at it from like try to look at it from a different lens, and then think, you know, oh, this is what I'm doing. Like pick apart. I was just like, I'm just not good at the game. I kind of just like rolled it out. Like I'm just not good at the game. People have an advantage. I always use the excuse, I'm gonna say, that, you know, because I was late into Halo 3 online. Hell, there was a point where I was playing more Gears online than Halo 3 online. Yeah. So I'm just like, with Halo 3, I just feel like I couldn't get over that hump, and I just left it at that. I'm like, listen, I'm just too late to the party, and that's how it's always gonna be. I'm always gonna be behind. I look back at it now, I'm just like, dude, I don't know where my mentality was at, because I know I could have done way better. I know I could have played better. This was also the time I was introduced to MLG from Chris himself, and then, like, I remember playing Halo 3 online with, like, some of my friends. They weren't really into MLG. It was just mostly social stuff, and I'm like, this is boring. I don't like it. I'm not having a lot of fun. I wasn't a Forge guy. I know a lot of people love Forge, Dylan included, but Halo 3 for me, I also want to put this S tier. Like I said, it was my first introduction to MLG. When I heard Chris and Matt and everybody else playing, and they were calling out where players were at, it took the game from where it was at to just skyrocketed for me. I didn't think this was a thing. I didn't know of it. You know what I'm saying? And then when Chris showed it to me, I'm like, it's all I wanted to play. So again, S rank, I want to put it in front of Halo 2, actually, just because I played more Halo 3 than anything.
this is hard.
I'm sure it is. Okay, how about this? Let me ask you a little question. It's gonna be S rank, right? It's just a matter of if it's in front of Halo. Okay, it's just a matter of if it's in front of Halo 2 or not. That's the hard part.
Yes.
Okay, good.
And
oh, how stressful does this look? Like you're just like, oh.
I'm not looking at it. That's how stressful it is, bro.
Oh, they keep flipping, dude. Which one is gonna be? It's like a Russian roulette over here.
Stupid face. Oh God. I looked at it directly.
Look into my eyes.
I have. The thing is, the only reason I'm going to say what I'm going to say is because of Forge.
Okay.
Forge brought a map editor into Halo, still feeling those PC roots of having, and brought it to the biggest audience in the world at the time. And was basically, when you look at Halo 3 now,
right,
and the game that released like at launch, we had campaign, we had multiplayer, we had Forge, we had a theater mode, like we had all these things out of the box where we could share game types, share screenshots. I remember people having like anime girls as just shaped as guns, and people putting their Spartan in it having like big angel wings, and like just I remember getting mass invited to random custom lobbies, and it'd be like, oh, play forever. That's what the thing. There was no end, and people would be playing like someone would have like 1,000 kills when you join in. You're like, what's going on? And
also, first Halo to have DLC, the Mystic Map Pack and everything like that. Remember that too?
I remember because I got one of my ex-girlfriends to buy it for me on GameStop, and she's like, "Do you really want it?" I was like, because she was a waitress, and I waited. I had to wait to get paid, and she was just like, "You want it right now?" I'm like, "I want it right now." And she's like, "Okay, let's go."
I remember when it dropped, I paid for it. Justin stood up overnight. Remember, he was supposed to go to school the next day. He stood up to play the Mythic Map Pack. If I'm not mistaken, like he got up or something just to play a little bit, or he stood up like really late or something like that. I don't know, it was something weird like that. But yeah. So Halo 3, where does it fall, man?
It's I think the best Halo in the franchise.
Really? Whoa. You know what? I don't think you're gonna have too many arguments, man. I think it really set it off. I think it really, like, if Halo 2 started a movement, Halo 3 just made it global. Like, it just made it, like, you know what I'm saying? It just really just pushed it to past the ceiling.
It did. At this point in time, with 1, 2, and 3, we didn't know how good we had it. Like, oh, obviously the next iteration is going to build upon the previous one, because when you look at 1, 2, and 3, it did that until it didn't.
Right. Yeah. And then you figure Halo 3 also, what else was I going to say? Not only did it blow up, like Halo 3 put Xbox Live on the map, essentially. You know what I'm saying? I know you had it with Halo 2, but I think Halo 3 just really, like, if you didn't have Xbox Live, like if you had a Halo 3 and didn't have Xbox Live, I think you were crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
All right.
But Halo 2 really made that more for me. And like
sure.
I was part of the clan.
Right.
We had a YouTube video with the Praetorian Guard. Matt was a part of it too in Halo 2 times, bro. And I would play with those people every day.
That's so.
I remember because people would know me from YouTube. I would never forget when someone was like, "Are you Spartan from Praetorian Guard?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, how the hell do you know me?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then like we were saying, and then with Halo 3, it just made sense. Like Halo 3, I think was the first time where I'm like, man, I think I need an Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want the original Xbox. I didn't care for. I didn't want it. Like, you know what I'm saying? My hands couldn't fit. I had these little baby hands, and I couldn't fit on this big controller. It was just too much. It was just too much for me, dude. And then the 360 came out, and I think brought the best controller we've seen. I do think 360 is still, I think, 360, it's a close number 1 for me now, because I'll be honest, I think the DualShock 4 is also a really good controller as well. Nice. It's clean, baby. It's a clean controller, man. Yeah, that's always
Country's
nice.
Customs.
Hell yeah. Never forget. All right.
Never forget.
So now, Bungie out of the picture now. Now they're working on Destiny.
Not yet.
Wait, what?
Well, I'm sorry. You did Reach. Okay, I forgot you didn't.
Yeah,
do
yeah. I started with Reach. Yeah, I'm
release
sorry.
orders
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
acquired.
So now we're
You did
official.
Reach, and now they're out.
Bungie's out. They're working on Destiny. You know what I'm saying? We got little references to Destiny within Reach. You know what I'm saying? Little world there. Destiny is yours, or something like that. It said, or it is your destiny. But now we got a new team, 343. All right, just ready to take on that juggernaut. In every way possible, and smooth sailing, I would imagine, right? Is that it? Was just it was all like it just went, you know, it was so easy for them. It was almost like riding a bike downhill. Speaking of downhill, that's exactly where the franchise went, downhill. So that being said, Halo 4, where do we go with this? You see me? I'm gonna now.
Where are you putting it? Where are you putting it? Because I don't know where I want to put it.
I think people are a little difficult on Halo 4. I think the gameplay is solid. However, the maps are terrible. The story was meh. I don't even remember it that much. I'll be honest with you. It just didn't stick with me, I guess. But I only played it like once, so I'll be honest with you. I just because of the multiplayer, and just for the sake of the fact that we don't have a D, I want to put it on the D. That's kind of where I want to put it right now. And again, it can move at any time, but yeah, let's get your opinions, man.
Okay. People are like, you can't say any good thing about Halo 4 in the world of Halo. Like, you know, people get super butthurt, but I'm like, look, the campaign story-wise, I thought was really good. You introduced a character. Unfortunately, you killed him too fast. Like, Halo 4, like, introduced things and took them away, and then they introduced things and it just sucks because like story-wise it was good, but when you start going into like the way that Prometheans looked, they look very samey. Like the Covenant like looked different because they had species and like, but they were all like white and like yellow or whatever, like gray and yellow,
right.
And like they tried making the Prometheans because we've been hearing about Prometheans in the previous game, so it was like, but I don't like the way they looked. You know, they brought new weapons, but all the Promethean weapons sucked.
Yeah, they weren't good.
In comparison, you're like, cool, I'm still gonna use the battle rifle. Like, are you like, there's no reason. The only good thing that was like the rocket launcher that came with it, but that's a rocket launcher. It's not hard to mess that up.
Right. And I'd argue that
like,
the battle rifle, even though it still worked well, the sound of it just wasn't the same. It didn't. It sounded terrible. It sounded like there was something loose in the gun for some reason. Like if you know when you have a controller and there's like an old like Sega Genesis controller, you shake and you hear that little bead something in there. That's what it felt like the BR had every time you shut it. It felt like there was something loose inside of it. I'm like, it felt like it was gonna jam at any time for some reason. I couldn't stand it either.
You know, yeah, I want to give it a C, but I want to put it behind Reach.
Okay, that's fair enough. Like I said, we could change some things around, but yeah, that's fair. It's definitely going to be in the lower end. Definitely not going to hit a B.
The thing is, tell you the truth, and the reason why I don't have it at D and C is because I'd rather play Halo 4 multiplayer than Halo Reach's multiplayer. But I think...
I agree.
Like... But I can't put it ahead of it because the customization in Reach was better. The maps were better. I don't know how.
Was the story better in Reach?
The story in Reach was better
I'd say so too.
Yeah, but not by much because I really like Cortana and Master Chief and like seeing Master Chief being like sad a little bit and Cortana and seeing the dynamic between the two. How like she's a robot
Chief as a human a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I agree. I think it's great.
Yeah, just be like, yo, dude, it's, you know. And Cortana, like, she's more human than he is, and realize like he's a product of like his experiences,
right?
And you know, it's just, yeah.
Right. Absolutely. So that's where we're putting Halo 4. Ooh, now we get some really tough times. Halo 5. Okay, now to give people a little idea, with Halo 5, I loved everything building up to Halo 5. It was awesome. The whole Master Chief versus like Spartan Locke or Agent Locke, whatever his name was, and it's just like even the build up. There was a Seek the Truth, a little audio logs that you can get. Oh man, it was so well done. The build up was so well done. That final product though, no payoff whatsoever. Everything that we felt like we were promised or were expecting, not even close. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't understand how the marketing is so far more superior than the actual product itself. It makes zero. I mean, granted, I get it. It worked. Marketing, hey, that's what you're supposed to do. It worked for them. But still, man, like, how do you miss the ball? if we're not putting Halo 4 as D, I want to put Halo 5 as D. Like, I do like the multiplayer. I don't think it's a bad game as far as multiplayer wise, but just from the sheer disappointment of every building up to it, I remember finding that thing and I was like, dude, this thing is really cool. I listened to the whole thing, and I'm a very big advocate of, like, if it's not in your game, I don't care to hear or listen to it. Like, if it's not worth being in your game, then it's not worth my time, is how I see it. So this, again, wasn't in the game, and I still gave it a chance, and I loved every minute of it. It had some great actors who were doing the audios for it, but again, finished product that we were expecting just didn't hit. I want to put it as D if we're not going to put Halo 4 as D. What do you think?
I don't want to put it in D. I know the thing, I like the reason why.
Okay.
Because the story mode was god awful on every level.
Okay.
Because besides it being fucking beautiful,
yeah, it looks
even
great.
today's standard, you look at that game, I'm like, this is one pretty ass game.
Yeah.
Like, but like the gameplay of even the campaign was like real, like you had the hunter visited, and you know, like that, and it just didn't pay off. But like, I'm trying to think in game, and they tried introducing these Spartans, but there was like 10 characters they were trying to introduce all at one time, and it just did not work, and it was just clustered, and you could tell like they wanted to make a Halo 5 suffers from the same issue that DC Cinematic Universe had. You wanted to get to the Justice League without doing the work, and you thought Bungie did enough work to build up a universe. No, Bungie made sick ass games, and then they were like, "Hey, you want to make a book about this thing? Okay. You want to do this? Okay."
Right.
Like, if you will dole out the things, but like Bonnie Ross, you know, which I love Bonnie Ross, but like she put the cart before the horse a little bit.
Okay.
Luckily, she you know, in Halo Infinite, you can see that she reeled it back, and like it's done a lot better now. But like,
I'm surprised she had so much of a chance. Like, you would think I would have cut her.
Well, she did really good, and there were talks about like, hey, after Halo Reach, we're just gonna end it.
Oh, okay.
If it wasn't for Bonnie Ross, we wouldn't have Halo now.
Okay, gotcha.
So just because they were like, yo, we could just end it and then leave it for 10 years and come back for it, and people are like, oh shit, I remember Halo.
Right.
You know, but yeah, the thing about the multiplayer is that it was really good. It was if that game came out and it was not Halo Infinite, it was literally named anything else, people would lose their freaking minds over it. It was just so different from every iteration before that because the maps were good, they were very samey, there wasn't that many, but they were good maps. Like they had a lot of there was a lot of lines of sight, but you had the movement to change it, and it got really sweaty, and like the skill gap, like it was known even to this day that if you were good in Halo 5, legitimately, you're good in everything.
I gotcha.
Because the skill, it legitimately has like a skill gap. If you ain't good, they ain't giving you kills. Okay. And the Forge that came out later was the best in any franchise.
I gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
So maybe it shouldn't be D. Where are we putting it?
I
thought the online was solid too. Like, I love the online game.
And like they did also have microtransaction rec packs, but in the game there was a way for you to make the money, so it didn't seem so gratuitous. I think people were a little hard on it, and I'm like, I spent money on it, but I'm like, I also know I could just play the game and get the stuff if I really wanted to.
I gotcha.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't, you know, don't get me, the grind to 152 was ridiculous, but they expected this game to go on a couple of years. But Halo's always had a problem with the grind.
I gotcha.
Like, yeah,
makes sense. So what do you think? It's C, B, and if it is C, is it going in front of Reach? It's got to be in front of Halo 4, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's in front of Halo 4 for sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna sit it here.
Yeah, but is it better than Reach? Because Reach had a phenomenal story. The customization was really good. But Halo 5's customization was really good.
I agree.
It's just you have to do it through the rec pack system.
Right.
But that's when old gaming and modern gaming, it was starting to hit like that.
Yeah, that line was kind of
16 was around that muddy time.
Right. That is true.
But then the customization wasn't that good because you couldn't you just have like parts of the Spartan, like the chest and it was like weird. Ah, man. But is it better than Reach? Do you think Halo 5 is better than Reach or no?
Yes. I do believe Halo 5 is better than Reach.
Then let's put it ahead of Reach, and we'll leave it there.
Now that brings us to Halo Infinite. All right, Halo Infinite. So far, I've loved it. Everything I've loved so far. Again, we haven't had the story yet, but as far as the online, I loved it. Still has its issues with the crashes, the desync. I don't like it, so I don't want to put it in S rank. I do want to put it high, but not S rank. I do want to fit it more in A. However, with the history of Halo, I would rather put it behind Halo 1. So I like seeing it here. What do you think?
I would have to agree, asterisk, because on the campaign, if the campaign hits, and we can have the conversation.
Right.
Does it go to Halo 2, Halo 3 territory?
Right.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know, because those two games, even with the campaign being lacking. And I say the campaign being lacking because it just didn't have the ending it was supposed to have.
Okay.
I didn't know didn't have the end of it. I just we're still playing. Oh no, we're not playing. It's left on the cliffhanger. Well, there is going to be a Halo 3, and I just kept on. And then I went back to multiplayer. So I think behind Halo 1 is a great place. Yeah, because honestly, it feels like Halo Infinite is what should have came out after Halo 3.
Okay. You know what? I agree. I think it's a great point there. So, I like the list so far. I kind of want to put Halo 4 down to D again. Just for the sake of having all the roles filled. I think my OCD is kind of
your OCD is kicking in, but D is not good. And it does it's not bad enough.
Can we hold the way? Maybe hey, boom, problem solved, baby. I just solved our problem, or my problem, the OCD problem.
Your problem.
Okay.
Jesus. Yeah, it's not a D rate. It's not D.
Now, does that make C horrible now? Because C's at the bottom.
Serviceable. And Halo 4 was all right. Don't get me wrong; it damn near killed the franchise. Right. But that's because there was Call of Duty came a knocking.
You're right. That's when it really started.
You know what I'm saying? You had to, there was another guy who came up was hungry when you were trying to figure yourself out.
Now it's like the roles are reversed a little bit now, or at least that's what it looks like it's becoming.
Well, you end up on when you're on top, there's only one way to go.
Yep. Now, since I removed D, does that make C the worst list ever?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. If you want, for you, sure.
No,
for me,
that's fine. Hey, if you're happy with this, I'm happy with this. So, Chris,
I'm trying to look again.
Yeah.
People are gonna be salty when they see the Halo Wars above Reach. But I'm like, yo, those RTS games are good for RTS games.
Well, hell,
it's just people that are not a fan of them.
Do we put Reach maybe here? Does that make sense?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm not giving Reach a B.
Oh,
are you kidding me? Reach was offensive. It had a built-in equalizer mechanic into it. And then they tried, Bungie lied and be like, no, in the game we can't change it. And then when 343 got it, yeah, we could have always took Bloom off.
Oh, okay. Sure. Hey,
yeah.
And if somebody doesn't like it, if they're offended, make your own damn list, right? I mean, this is our list, all right? This is...
Yeah. I would like to see what other people's lists look like.
Absolutely. Same.
Yeah, but as of now, as of before the campaign officially drops, this is our list.
Yes.
Which, even if the campaign's good, I'm arguing with Halo. I'm Halo 1, that's a big fight. I'm this campaign needs to be real good.
Oh yeah,
because it is. But you can have the argument only because technically Halo Infinite is a soft reboot of the franchise. So I'm
it's a great point.
You can argue the guy who started it compared to the guy who's essentially restarting the franchise.
Right. That's a great point. I like that. Well, Chris, any changes you want to make? Any final changes? We're coming up to the end here. I like this list. I like where it sits so far. I wouldn't make any changes.
Yeah. And I did this very like paint by the numbers, if it was Chris's personal list,
Mhm.
feelings, no facts,
Mm-hmm.
I'd have Reach right at the fucking bottom. I hate Reach.
Really?
But I did good things, and I have to appreciate the good things it did.
Right.
But me personally, I hate it. And when I'm playing MCC, I'm like, when I play Reach, I roll. I rather play Halo 1, a game that's 20 years old, over Halo Reach.
Okay. Hey.
But
Again,
that's me.
that's your
Chris, on a
opinions. Yeah,
personal level.
absolutely. Nobody can tell you, you're wrong. Obviously, it's your opinion, your feelings. That's
It's
okay.
the internet. Like, when everyone can tell us that we're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean anything, but yeah, sure, they can tell us we're wrong. You tell me I'm wrong till the cows come home. I don't give a shit. All right.
Yep.
Well, this is our list. Chris, any last parting words you have to tell to the people at home?
Let me know what you. I honestly want to know what your list is down like.
Yeah.
Video. Tell us what it is, and
Hell, put in
tell
the comments.
me why
What's your
I'm wrong. Tell me if you
yeah.
on it. Also, question B: have you ever played the Halo Wars games, and what do you think?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like that. I kind of want to go back to that. I mean, they're on Game Pass, right? Why not, right? It's not gonna do anything. I might as well just throw it on the tablet or on my phone. I think it'd be perfect for that. And just when I have some time at night, when I'm about to go to sleep or right before I go to sleep, just dabble in it a little bit. Yeah, sounds like a good time.
You can put it on easy mode and let it ride.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. This is our Halo tier list. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, tell us what you thought. Other than that, leave you off per usual. Love each other. Take care. Above all else, be cool. This has been a Microtransaction extra episode. Remember, Reach.